All right, today we're diving into a book that's all about a profound journey of self-discovery. This is our deeper look at Hermann Hesse's novel of awakening, Siddhartha, A Journey Beyond Words.
You know, the reflection we're about to explore kicks off with a sentence that just perfectly nails the feeling of this book. It simply says this: to read Siddhartha is to become still.
But what kind of stillness are we talking about here? Well, it's definitely not the stillness of just doing nothing. It's that deep, echoing quiet that comes over you when something deep inside starts to watch, to listen, and to wake up. You see, Hermann Hesse's novel is actually pretty short, and he wrote it during a really tough time for him after World War I. On the surface, it seems deceptively simple. The language is crystal clear, the plot is pretty straightforward, but just like the river that's so central to the story, you only discover its true depth when you really stop and linger with it.
Okay, so the beginning of Siddhartha's story, it feels really familiar, doesn't it? Especially for anyone on a search for meaning today. It's that feeling of being suffocated, even in a system that means well. I mean, here's a guy who is loved, he's accomplished, he seems destined to be this great sage. But it brings up a question we all have to face at some point. What good is all the applause in the world if your soul feels empty? So his first rebellion isn't against the world, it's against inherited wisdom, that feeling that even the most profound truths can feel stale when you just memorize them instead of living them.
And this is where Hesse is so brilliant. He's quietly taking a shot at any kind of rigid thinking, even the spiritual kind. The whole journey toward what's real, what he calls the Atman, the true undivided self. The whole point is it just can't be secondhand. You can't borrow it from someone else.
Which leads us to this really fundamental truth of the whole journey, something that runs through the entire novel. Each must walk alone. Just that one insight, right there, it basically sets up the book's quiet rejection of dogma. It celebrates the path you actually experience, the one you live, the one that's uniquely yours. And let me tell you, Siddhartha's path is anything but boring or moderate. I mean, his experiences cover the whole spectrum of what it means to be human. He goes from being a starving ascetic to a rich lover, from a skeptical student to a heartbroken father. It's like he walks through fire, not just once, but over and over again, burning away his illusions layer by layer.
And right here, when you look at these two extremes, the ascetic and the lover, this is where you really see one of Hesse's masterstrokes. It's how he lets Siddhartha grow and change without ever hitting some kind of final, perfect answer.
Every single phase of his life, it's not a mistake, but it's not a final triumph either. Just think about everything he learns along the way. The Samanas, they teach him discipline. The courtesan Kamala, she teaches him presence. The merchant Kamaswami teaches him ambition. And his own child teaches him all about attachment and loss. You see, no moment is wasted, no path is ever regretted.
So this whole theme, the idea that literally everything can be your teacher, it really echoes this powerful Buddhist idea called upaya. It's this concept of skillful means, where even all those messy, worldly experiences can become a part of your awakening, but only if you meet them with awareness.
Okay, now let's talk about the most powerful symbol in the entire novel, the river. It's absolutely central to the second half of the story, and it's not just a backdrop. No, it's a living, breathing symbol of truth itself.
The river, you see, is a total paradox. It is time, and it is timelessness.
It's always flowing forward, and yet it's never really gone.
It reflects absolutely everything, but it holds on to nothing. Siddhartha's deep listening to this river, it's a perfect mirror for what contemplation really is, just a complete surrender of that analytical part of your brain in favor of being purely present. And of course, it's at the river where we meet such a crucial character. In so many ways, Vasudeva the ferryman is the real bodhisattva of this novel. And here's the absolute key. It's not because he teaches anything, it's because he listens with his entire being. His service isn't about words, it's sacred. Just by ferrying people across, he's bridging opposites, this shore and that one, suffering and peace. So all of this leads right into the novel's final scenes with his old friend Govinda. And these scenes really drive home one of the most powerful themes, the idea that the deepest truths, well, they just can't be put into words.
I mean, just think about the contrast here. You've got Govinda on one hand, and he's still clinging to teachings, to doctrines, to this idea that someone else can just hand you the ultimate truth. But Siddhartha, he's become totally transparent. He is the river now. So what he offers Govinda isn't some new concept. It's a transmission of his very being.
And you know,
This beautiful idea has echoes in the Zen tradition, right? Where the greatest truths aren't found in books or texts, but they're revealed through pure presence, a simple glance, a gesture, or just a moment of profound shared stillness.
So what does any of this mean for us, right here, right now? Well, for readers today, Siddhartha could feel like such a relief from all the noise of our productivity culture and, let's be honest, spiritual consumerism. This whole modern idea of trying to hack enlightenment, treating meditation like a technique to optimize your performance, that would have completely bewildered Siddhartha. He had to let go of every framework to finally see.
His journey is this powerful reminder that presence isn't something you achieve through constant effort. It's often the fruit of just letting go. It shows us that wisdom isn't some formula you can learn, but it's more like a melody that just starts to emerge when you stop trying to control the instrument. And we have to touch on this crucial element, that gentle but powerful feminine energy that runs through the book. Kamala, yeah, she's a courtesan, but she's so much more than a lover. She's a teacher of sensuality, of grace, of timing. The river itself, with its nurturing, holding nature, feels like that maternal archetype. And even Siddhartha's intense grief over his son, you can see that as his initiation into a kind of unconditional love, one that goes way beyond just possessing someone.
And ultimately, I think this is why Siddhartha is still around, why it endures. It's not just a book you read and then put back on the shelf. It's a companion, one that actually matures and changes right along with you.
Depending on where you are in your life, different parts of the book are going to whisper a little louder. If you're stuck in your head, it challenges your intellect. If you're suffering, it just offers this quiet, knowing solidarity. And for those of us who are always in a hurry, it asks a very, very direct question.
What's the rush?
And maybe that's its greatest gift. It's an invitation to just trust the slow, sacred unfolding of your own unique path. And we're invited to trust it, not because there's some guaranteed prize at the end, but for a much, much simpler reason. Because each step, each breath, each tiny ripple on the surface of life is already enough.